Are you guys? I hope you guys are having an awesome Monday. Tuesday, sorry. Yeah, I hope you guys are having an awesome Tuesday. Yay, it's Tuesday. Okay. So I'm back with your notes for the Diddy trial. Okay, so Friday I wasn't on. I didn't get on my live stream here on YouTube, but Mia was the only witness that was on the witness stand Friday. Her testimony actually went over to Monday, yesterday, and with the defense. The defense had her Friday and yesterday. So yesterday made trial day 13. Mia testified to the defense, who has had her on the witness stand since Friday. What I just said. Mia testified that Diddy essayed her multiple times. Mia attained an employment lawyer. She won $400,000, and half of that, what's up, Chris? Half of that she had to pay to the actual lawyer who handled that case. What happened was, okay, and again, I'm going over the Diddy trial today. Make sure you guys give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel here. But excuse me, Mia felt that she wasn't paid for certain jobs and at certain times, and she was owed some money. So she got her an employment lawyer and seek her funds, the funds that was owed to her. Now, the lawyer she chose to went with had just won a case with someone. I'm not quite sure who they won a case with or for, but they requested $10 million from Diddy, but the payout from Diddy's team, let's say it like that, end up being $400,000, and Mia had to split half of that with the lawyer. Yay! Thank you, Chris. So, she said she didn't mention the essay allegations during her mediation in 2017 when she had the when she obtained the lawyer, which would have probably gave her some more money if she said she was essayed. But she said that she wanted to keep that private. She wanted to take it to her grave, and then she got subpoenaed to be in the Diddy trial here, and so that's why she had to come clean and tell everything, and she wanted to tell about the essay. What's up, nothing? Yep, the drama is here, okay? I'm talking about the Diddy trial. Make sure you guys come in, hit that subscribe button, okay? And give me a thumbs up. Yes. So, Mia testified that Diddy put tracking devices on Cassie's car. She said Diddy's defense wanted to present evidence, photos, but the judge denied it, but allowed the defense to ask questions about the pictures. So come Monday, yesterday, it was a big thing going on. What's up, Gonzalez family? What's up? Make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate that. I'm going over the Diddy trial from yesterday and today. Mia was on trial yesterday, and today Mr. Ferguson was on the trial today, and I'm gonna get to that real soon. So yesterday, Mia pretty much summed up that she said she spoke to Cassie after she won her settlement in 2023. Mia says she never told Cassie about the essay allegations, saying that Diddy had essayed her. The defense asked Mia why did she only mention the essay in June 2024, assuming she might not be being honest. Mia would send Diddy text messages saying, "I love you, you're great." She probably was just kissing up, though. In my opinion, I felt like, even though Diddy essayed her, he did give her a big opportunity. That probably outweighed everything else when you can say that I worked with P. Diddy. Most people don't know that you're being essayed, so they see, oh, you work for Diddy. So, that's like a, that's a big deal. Let's be honest, okay? It's a big deal. I could definitely understand why she stayed with him or stayed around him and worked for him even after he essayed her. Mia would say, Mia said that she also made a scrapbook for Diddy. Mia testified she never told Cassie about the essay, allegedly. Mia admitted she made a scrapbook for Puff with clippings of some of his highest accomplishments. So Mia was like not a documentarian, but Diddy told Mia that he was going to work on a TV show for her. So the TV show was pretty much going to be like an assistant working for a huge mogul, right? So Diddy assured Mia that he would help her get that TV show, and then Diddy would, of course, tell her, no, you're not getting that show. He would use it against her when he wanted to control her. So sadly to say, Diddy didn't end up getting that TV show for her, but everything was set up in place to get it started, but he didn't do it. Mia says she is in therapy now. She says her therapist helped her understand that she is a people pleaser. Now, we know plenty of people that's people pleasers, right? You know a person that's a people pleaser or a person who doesn't like to tell folks no. We know plenty of people like that. So I know the defense is trying to make Mia seem like she's lying, and she actually could be lying. Who knows? But we do know people that are people pleasers, and they pretty much have to kiss up and do whatever their boss say, or I mean, I can definitely understand, who Mia probably is based on what she's saying. But Mia said she was scared of Puff when he was scary, meaning when they said Puff would be very moody. Sometimes he'll be happy, sometimes he'll be cool, and then other times he would be scary. Like when he wanted to hurt her or Cassie or someone else, he would be scary during those times. Eddie Garcia came today, day 14th of Diddy's trial. Yeah, Rihanna's father passed away in LA, I believe. And they said Rihanna was there. Rihanna hasn't made a statement or anything about it, probably because she's grieving the loss of her father. But rest in peace to Rihanna's father. And I hope everything is fine with them. You know, bless them all. But back to today, day 14th of Diddy's trial. Eddie Garcia, he worked as a security guard for the Intercontinental Hotel. He was the one who orchestrated receiving, obtaining the copy of, or obtaining the footage of the beating that Diddy did to Cassie in the hotel. And he got his manager to approve him giving it to Diddy. So y'all check this out. So Philip Pons is another name for Diddy. He often used that name as well. Philip Pons. We've also heard Frank White, Frank Black. Let's see here. Mia left the stand. Sylvia Oken, she was in charge of the celebrity bookings. Okay, so Sylvia Oken also joined the stand real briefly. And she also worked at the hotel, and she joined She was on the witness stand very quickly, very briefly, just to pretty much tell about the damage that was in the hotels. She pretty much told about how there would be a lot of oil that the cleanup crew would have to try to get up from everywhere, all over the furniture and in the hotel room. So she testified to the what had to be cleaned up in the hotel here. Um, but back to Eddie Garcia. Um, so the government called a witness, Garcia. He requested to use his Fifth Amendment right, but then the judge said he could sign an immunity document for him. So today he worked as an LAPD officer. He worked at the Intercontinental Hotel. They asked, could you monitor all of the cameras? He says, no, not all of them at once. Did you initially recognize Diddy and Cassie? He said, not at first, but after he kept looking at it, he could see that it was Diddy. And then he realized that that was Cassie that Diddy was with. They asked him if he received a call. He says, yes, from KK. With the New York area code. She wanted the video. She said Diddy was intoxicated and he didn't know what had happened. So they wanted to get a copy of that video, or wanted to get the actual original footage so it wouldn't get out and hurt his career. What did you tell Miss Karam? Garcia said that she needed to talk to management. Then she called again and was in the lobby. Did you get another call? He says, yes, she put Diddy on the phone. So KK kept calling and calling. And then when she didn't get an answer or response, she came there. And then when she got there, she got in touch with Garcia again, asked him to come on down, and then she got him on the phone with Diddy. I guess trying to pull some, oh, the celebrity wants to talk to you, and, so he'll be all starstruck, which it seemed like he was. Seemed like that got him. And that probably do it every time. Diddy was talking real fast and stuttering, Garcia said. Emailed management. I forgot. He said, I got more calls from KK on my personal phone, and he was surprised about that. He said Diddy told him if this got out, it could ruin his career. He said he would take care of it. Bill Medrano was his supervisor, Garcia's supervisor at the time. He told him to tell Diddy that he can get that video for him, but he's going to need $50,000. So that's extortion. So I definitely see why Cassie sued the Intercontinental Hotel, because she had every right to, because they wasn't supposed to give up that footage. Now, it gets a little crazy, so listen further here. But so he said, I called KK back and Diddy called me his angel. Garcia said the video was in the server room on a USB key. He said, I met him in West LA. My supervisor told me to tell others I was going to run errands. He said, I gave him the video. I gave him the video, and there was an African American, about 6'3", 6'5", a male who was very tall, that was in the building as well. I believe that was Diddy's security guard. Garcia said Diddy was in the building with the security guard, and KK was in the room as well. Diddy asked if it was the only copy. Garcia said, I believe so. He said he also told him that if Cassie filed a complaint, it could get him in a lot of trouble. So Diddy called Cassie on the phone and FaceTimed her. This is the same day that he kicked her behind. He FaceTimed Cassie. And now remember, Cassie's best friend or ex-best friend testified that Diddy he also came over to Cassie's house after that, banging on her door with a hammer. So a lot happened that day. Matter of fact, this was the next day. I'm sorry. So this day that Garcia actually came to meet Diddy was the day after the incident had finally happened. So Diddy was still fresh off threatening Cassie with a hammer. So Cassie got on FaceTime and she told him that this could hurt her career, and she had a movie premiere that was about to that was coming out very soon, and she didn't need this information to get out. So I guess that made Garcia feel real confident about giving them the footage. Diddy requested everyone involved to give their ID. So I believe it was three security guards, and then it was two security guards, and then the manager. Diddy requested all of their IDs, and he took a copy of them and made them all sign NDAs with his company letterhead on it. He said he didn't read the document, Garcia said, before he signed it, and he didn't get a copy of it either. He said he was very nervous when he was there with Diddy. His voice was cracking a lot, and even once he left, he kept looking behind him in the rearview mirror, wondering if someone was following him. So he was very scared. The letter said that the recipient would have to pay $1 million to Diddy if the video did end up getting out. Garcia testified that at the time he was only making $10.50 an hour. If the video would have came out during that time, what the hell you was gonna sue him for? That would have just been a waste of time or practice. I don't know. Then Diddy put stacks of money in the money counter. 50,000. So again, the supervisor requested $50,000, but Diddy, being the big baller shot caller that he is, he gave an extra 50, and he told Garcia not to be spending money all crazy because that money can come back and bite him in the behind, because he shouldn't be taking money. So Diddy told Garcia not to make any big purchases, and Garcia said that he gave the supervisor 50,000, he kept 30,000, and then one of the other security guards he gave $20,000 to. And Garcia testified that he brought a used car with his money, and that was like the only big purchase he made, and he didn't put the money in the bank or anything. He was told not to make any big purchases. They put all the money in a paper bag. He said he brought a used car. Diddy called him on Easter Sunday, which was, I believe, a couple of days after all this happened. Diddy gave Garcia a call and asked him, "Hey, how you doing, man? Yeah, oh, okay, all right. Did you hear anything else about this tape?" So Diddy was pretty much calling to see what everybody was saying. Did anybody say anything? Did he hear anything about someone putting the tape out? And Garcia said no, he hadn't heard anything. Everything was quiet because they wiped the server clean from the video. So he said everything should be good to go. And then Diddy told Garcia, well, if you ever need anything, hit me up and let me know. And Garcia said a year later, he hit Diddy up and asked him about a job in LA, and Diddy never responded. Oh my goodness. So this is pretty much showing like the enterprise part, the enterprise RICO, racketeering, because at this point, where is Diddy getting money to make this settlement from? Money has to be accounted for. So for him to have $100,000 that he's given to someone to purchase a tape illegally, that could be, that's part of the racketeering and the whole enterprise for the RICO. Like, he had to have other individuals that work for him Diddy, that is, that was helping to fund all this illegal activity he was doing. Remember, allegedly, Diddy requested what, $50,000 or $50,000? Excuse me. Whew, excuse me. Allegedly, Diddy requested what, 20, 50,000, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 from Cassie's parents as well. So Diddy has a reputation of requesting money from people and illegally, because that's illegal to actually blackmail someone about a tape. That's what they were doing with Cassie's mom. So that's what the government is, pretty much trying to prove here, that, it's a lot of illegal activity that's going on. Did the police call you? The government asks. He says yes. Were you honest? He says no. He says, I then got a lawyer and was honest then. The government calls Derek Ferguson. So that was pretty much all of Garcia's testimony. Pretty much it was straight to the point that he did give Diddy the tape. He was pretty much the middleman, because he said he had to get the approval from his manager, and his manager told him if he can give me 50,000. So he was pretty much the middleman. And he testified that when the police called him about the tape and the incident, that he lied to them and told them he didn't know anything about it because he just wanted to let it go. But when the government contacted him, he was honest with the government and told the government, because he knew, this was way bigger. So he had to be honest about it. Hold on. Yeah. So that was crazy. Let's see here. So Derek Ferguson, he worked with Diddy. He wasn't a personal assistant, y'all. He was a chief financial officer from 1998 until 2017. He testified he was sometimes in charge of managing Diddy's personal finances as well. So the government called this witness because this is the guy who would have been in charge of giving money or making sure Diddy got certain amounts of money so that he can fund all these little side settlements that he was doing and stuff. But he pretty much got on the stand and pretty much act like he didn't know anything about these large amounts of money that Diddy had on hand to pay settlements and stuff. So that's going to be interesting because he's still on trial today. They ended court on time today, and he was still on trial. So I guess we'll be finding out how that's going to end. So the government asks, how did Diddy get paid? He says sometimes salary, sometimes distributions from companies, each with separate accounts. Could you sign on to the account? He says yes. Did he use Citibank, HSBC, and Signature Bank? What is this one? He says Janice Cone Music Inc. So I think the government is pretty much trying to do that RICO thing here, okay? Talking about which banks did he use? Did he use? What companies did he work with? How did Diddy receive a salary? Because every business that Diddy had, he received a salary, which isn't illegal, but when it's paying for personal things and salary, then that's when it gets crazy. That's when it gets weird and strange, because how the IRS is going to identify what you're actually bringing in versus what you're spending, because those two are different things. So if you have a company that's paying you a salary and paying for your personal stuff like your credit cards and giving you cash and stuff, just and it's not being accounted for, that's criminal activity. Okay? So the government was asking about Diddy's bank accounts. Who did he have bank accounts with? Businesses that he had. There was a Janice Combs Music Inc. Janice Combs is Diddy's mom. You know, he has businesses in her name. He also has businesses in Christian name. And I thought it was real strange because the only businesses that I've been able to find of Diddy's only has the the twins name and Christian name, which I thought is very interesting because you know the other two boys, okay, what her name, Misha's son, I don't believe is actually Diddy's son, and then we know that Kim Porter's oldest son, is that Justin? I'm not sure. The little cutie pie, I'll be sure's child. It's not Diddy's child either. And Diddy doesn't have, I didn't find any businesses with those two young men names on it. Only businesses I saw was of Christian and the twins. Not even Chance. So that's very strange because if there was to be a issue there and you know someone was to get funds or be fighting for funds, the only person that could fight for funds would be the parents, and one of their parents is gone. So of course Diddy would receive everything unless the kid themselves sued him, but I doubt that will happen. Anyway, it furnished his name and likeness. What kind of credit cards did he have? And Amex and American Express, he says yes, he used it for personal and business. And the companies paid to the account. So the companies paid to an account that was for Diddy's personal and business um, account. So how can you separate the two there? You know, if you just add in money. But anyway, I guess the government will get to that soon. How was outgoing cash handled? We had petty cash and cash what? Oh, cash advances. We would match balance from the company deposit. So when the company would send a deposit, let's say Diddy uses $100,000, but it's only 50,000 that's in their account. When the next company put money into that account, say that extra $50,000, they can write that off and say, "Oh, it was used for whatever they want to say it was used for," just so it could be accounted for like the IRS. Um, were you aware of security staff carrying large amounts of cash for him? He says no. When were you responded when you were uh, representing Diddy's personal accounts, what did you do? He says, I made a budget for the year. His properties, inflows and outflows. Inflows and outflows is the monies that was coming in and out from the different companies. He would handle them so everything would be accounted for. Pretty much like washing the money, but he didn't say that anything was illegal about it. Were you aware that Diddy paid people? He says yes. It would be from his personal accounts. Now he already admitted that Diddy personal and business account was pretty much the same. So, okay. Um, They show Ferguson some documents or images. What are these internal transfers? 190,000 and 575,000, and then 100,000 in December 2011. The government asks who decided whether to um, initiate an internal transfer. He says usually the controller. Do you remember these documents they showed him? He says no. The defense starts questioning Ferguson. Where did you grow up? He says the Bronx. Where did you go to high school? He says Stuyvesant. Where did you go to business school? He says Harvard, MBA, 1990. Then BMG Music Group. He says, yes, they own over 100 music labels worldwide. They own 50% of Bad Boy during a certain time period. He says, did Diddy do whatever he wanted? Ferguson says no. There were Arista agreements. So Ferguson is testifying that Diddy didn't do whatever he wanted to do with the money because he had agreements and contracts. So he couldn't just handle the money all willy nilly. Even though, okay, let's say Diddy was using his personal account to pay these settlements off, like the one where he purchased the tape of him abusing Cassie. Um, his account just needs to prove that. Okay, it shouldn't have a whole bunch more. It should definitely be accounted for somehow in his account. What was the onboarding? He said he did an interview, and then Arista, he had to meet with a lot of people, Benny Medina. So you don't so you didn't just meet Diddy to get the job, the defense asks. He says no. How did Bad Boy change from 99 to 2012? He said it added other businesses. Records were getting very competitive. Bad Boy Records was established in 1993, the defense asks. Ferguson said, I thought it was 96. Did Bad Boy have connections with Interscope? He says yes, and UMG, Rhines, Rhino. Who is Andre Harrell? He said he founded Uptown, went to Motown, then to Bad Boy. What was the spirits business called? He says Combs, Wines, and Spirits. It was involved in the start of Diageo. Diageo was marketing it more in urban areas than more broadly. What about Revolt? He says it was owned by Highbridge Capital Management, which was purchased by JP Morgan Chase. So come to find out, Highbridge is also allegedly linked to Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, before he passed away. He was using Highbridge as well. So it definitely seems like we're getting in the area of RICO. However, this is the defense questioning Ferguson about this information, but they didn't say anything about Highbridge being linked to Jeffrey Epstein. I just remember hearing Jeffrey Epstein being linked to Highbridge before. So we know it's some definitely allegedly some criminal activity going on. Let's see if the government get to the bottom of it. So he says, I think so. JP Morgan Chase is purchased Highbridge. Highbridge has 2 seats on it. So it had 5 seats in total. 2 seats were for Diddy and 3 seats were for Revolt. So Diddy wasn't the highest. Diddy didn't make the final say for Revolt TV because he didn't have full ownership of Revolt TV. Excuse me. So, yes, that's pretty much what Ferguson is saying. He says, I was the chief operator Operations officer. I handled finance and production, and Diddy wasn't in the management, right? The government asks. Ferguson says he was not. So Ferguson pretty much sounds like he left Diddy on a good hand or a good note. You know, on one hand, he has to be honest and tell information, because if he's not honest, it's going to be very bad for him. On the other hand, it's like, okay, he's not volunteering any information at all. He's only given exactly what's being asked of him. He's not like the other witnesses that were on the stand, like Cassie, Mia, and Capricorn Clark, witnesses like that who were just given a lot of extra information that wasn't even asked. Ferguson played it very safe on the stand. He came in saying that he was subpoenaed to be there. So, he didn't volunteer to be there at all. Again, Ferguson will be back on trial tomorrow. And then there's another witness they're going to have on trial tomorrow, which is Wednesday, and Thursday, they're going to have another Jane Doe who is coming to tell her story. She said she was also assaulted in some type of way by Diddy as well, and she will be giving her testimony. And she's pretty much looking like she's going to be on the stand up until next Thursday. Next Thursday, she has to be her plane ticket leaves out next Thursday for New York. So, just like they did with Deontay Nash, the judge was not playing. He wanted to get him off that stand as soon as possible and on that flight. They're going to probably do the same thing with Jane Doe. So they'll have her until next Thursday, which is when her flight leaves out. But I'm pretty sure she's going to be on the stand for a while because she is another Jane Doe. In my opinion, Mia's testimony was pretty shaky. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Mia wanted to share her story, and so she did. Now, did everything she sound honest? It didn't, in my opinion. Like being assaulted, but you still being there, not leaving. She did say she was a people pleaser, so that's why she didn't leave, which I could believe that because stuff like that happens often. But I can't wait to see who this Jane Doe is. They're probably going to do the same thing with her, keep her identity hidden. Now, I did post a picture and the name of the Jane Doe Mia on my page, but I took it off because today the court had a lot of mess going on with a YouTuber that was putting the information out there about Mia and also coming inside the trial. So she was banned from coming in the trial. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take this down. But I don't even know if that was the actual person. Tasha K put up who she believed Mia was, and I reposted it. But I did take it down just because I just took it down. I did put it up though, but like I said, it hasn't been confirmed if I was right or not. I still do have that information, so if I need to post it back up, I will. But my post did get 1,200 views, by the way. Okay, thank you so much, YouTubers. Y'all definitely did that. Okay, you did that. Yes, you did. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel here. I really appreciate it. Far as the Tory Lane situation, I haven't heard anything else. Of course, the evidence has really come out showing that Megan and Kelsey lied about shooting Megan. Megan was not shot at all, you guys. Megan stepped on glass. That's what she did. And hopefully they'll get her ass, okay, real soon. Oh, there's a lady, Dag, what is her name? I didn't write it down because I wasn't really prepared. But, I ain't even going to bring it up since I can't even think of her name. But I'm gonna do a video about it. I just got to get everything together about it. But Cardi B, y'all. So Cardi B and Offset have been going through it over the weekend. It sounds like Offset is requesting spousal support, and maybe Cardi B really feels like he's going to get that because she was going ham. Okay, she was going crazy. She did a public statement yesterday saying that she paid for everything for the children. Offset doesn't pay for anything. He'll FaceTime the children, but he hasn't seen the children. She takes care of all their needs and stuff, even school and the nannies and everything. And I'm like, see, that's what you get for messing with a sucker. Okay? Because, first of all, when they got together, she probably didn't expect everything to blow up like it did for her. She probably wasn't sure what she was going to have, so she just married him real quick. But and this go for males and females, okay? When you have something, even if you know that you're on your way to receive something, then I feel like definitely get a prenup. Okay, before you even have all the fame and riches and stuff, get a prenup. It's best to have something set in place that says, when if we were to end our relationship or our marriage, we're going to go our separate ways. I definitely feel like that's a great thing to do, sign a prenup, because things could get very, very messy. Because now Cardi B is 3 children in, have to, she said, if we listen to her, she pays for all the children's needs, including nannies, the schooling, their transportation, everything. Even when she's not even there to take care of her children, she still have to take care of them with and without Offset support. And now it's looking like she may have to pay Offset spousal support. So, it's crazy to me. A lot of times, I understand we get caught up, we get in love real quick. We just want to be all lovey-dovey. But y'all, I'm telling you, it can get real messy when money is involved. Very messy. And if you love your mate as much as you say you love your mate, then go ahead and set out some type of plan in advance so that y'all can have pretty much like an easy way to end things if things were to end, because you never know how things will play out. No one's guaranteed to be here forever. And even at that, okay, let's say something happened to Cardi B and her and Offset still married. He possibly has all the rights to any of her finances. You see what I'm saying? Okay, and they're not even together, but they might be separated, but they're still married. So, you definitely want to have some type of plan set out for like breakups and stuff, or just how you want to handle your money. Definitely invest in a trust for your children, so your money will go to your children or go to whoever you want your money to go to if something was to happen to you, because things happen all the time, but this is real life. Stop playing around with your finances, okay? Stop just willy-nilly just picking a guy or a woman, getting with them, you're marrying them, and then splitting up, and then now your finances is the main thing that is the talk of the town, right? Your spouse going to want you to pay for X, Y, and Z and all. Get things set up, lined up, have a will, okay? Wills can protect your money as well. Trust can protect your money, your finances, your businesses, any of your assets. Y'all, I talk about this all the time. I actually wrote a book about it, okay? So it's called Building Financial Wealth, one document at a time. And it talks about having documents like this in place, a prenup, a trust, a life insurance policy, okay? A will, because these things are are very real and they're needed. If not, then you're gonna be all on the internet, on social media, like Cardi B, up here crying, fighting for your life, trying to get out of paying someone. Which is the same thing Mary J. Blige should have did. She should have got a prenup too. You know, a lot of people don't get a prenup. Okay, there was a young man who, I think, a football player, basketball player or something. Everybody was talking about him last week. He supposedly married this girl, and he didn't get a prenup. Everybody was talking about it last week, how, they feel like that relationship's going to end and she's going to get half of everything. But you don't have to be a celebrity in order to have documents like that set up for your finances, for your assets, and your properties. Okay, let's get real serious about handling this stuff, because that stuff can be, or those items can be used to be passed down to the next generation and the next generations, to help them get a leg up in this game called life, if you don't put your finances and stuff in the right order. So you guys, hear it from me first. If you haven't heard it from anywhere else, get your affairs in order, okay? Because if not, it's not going to be fair. It's not going to be fair. You're going to be crying, and everybody going to be looking at you like you crazy. Okay, because we don't want to hear it, but we definitely going to talk about it. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching my YouTube channel here. I really appreciate it, because I'm going to talk about it. Okay. Get subscribe to my YouTube channel here. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Thank you to my mods. Chris, thank you so much. Yeah, Cardi B got a new man. So yeah, real quick. So apparently Cardi B is with, what's her man name? Okay, okay, sis. I love SZA. Yeah, I know that's going to be a great concert. So Cardi B has a new man, and she just put out some pictures of her and this man, and she was looking very provocative. What I say to that is, didn't Cardi B have in her song? She had a verse in her song that says, "If ain't no ring on my finger, you ain't going on my gram." Okay. I just said that to say, y'all know these people be capping, okay? They be capping in these songs. So you hear these songs, don't believe everything you hear in these songs, because the city girls ain't been city girls since they came out as city girls. All right. Well, again, I'm your girl, Sunshine Queen. You guys, thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel here. Subscribe to my channel. I really would appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up. And she pregnant by him too? I hope not. She's still married, ain't it? Anyway, I don't know, you guys. I hope you all have a good evening. Peace to you all, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.